What does a fisher want to catch? Imagine you are a fisher. You go out on your boat into the ocean, sail into the water. What is it that you want to catch? That's right, a huge fish. You want that fish to come close to you, stay close to you, and then you want to capture it. Now, what does a writer want to catch? The answer is a writer wants to catch the reader's attention. When we write, we want people to read what we write. So what does a fisher and a writer have in common? Well, yes, they both want to catch something, but also what they both have in common is that they both use a hook to capture or catch what they want. In this lesson, you'll be able to add a hook to your introduction paragraph. Now, when I say this, I do not mean a literal hook like this one. Unlike that literal fishing hook that you just saw, a writer's hook is words. It's a sentence or two. Now, but also much like a literal fishing hook, it captures what we as writers want, the reader's interest. Why do we need to do this? If we capture the reader's interest, our reader wants to keep on reading. And that is the purpose of writing, for people to read it. Furthermore, a hook also entertains our reader. We do not want to bore the people who are reading what we write. So in this example, imagine a fisherman or a fisherwoman. Here's a fish and here's a hook. You, the writer, are like the fisher. Your reader is like the fish. And what we want is we want to catch the reader's attention. Not in a violent way, not in a literal way. We just want the fish or our reader to come closer to our writing, stay there, and keep reading through the whole essay. So there's 3 really easy steps. Go ahead and write these down in your notes. Step 1, choose a type of hook that appeals to you and your partner. Step 2, write a hook in the appropriate box of the essay outline. And step 3, just check that it meets the criteria for success. So step 1, choose a type. There are all different types of hooks. Choose whichever one you feel like. Remember this guy? Here's my example. Let's pretend I'm writing an essay about how do you make a PB&J sandwich. Here are the types of hook. Question, shocking event, interesting setting, and talking directly to the reader. You might remember these hooks when we wrote our Great Depression narrative. Take a look at these examples. Each of these examples serve the purpose of a hook. They're interesting, they're entertaining, and they make you want to keep on reading more. You can ask a question to the reader, like, have you ever tried to make a PB and jelly sandwich? Oh, I forgot the question mark. You can shock your reader by describing an event. The first time I tried to cook a meal, I burned down the kitchen. Fortunately, I never have this problem making PB&Js. Sorry for that typo. You can describe an interesting setting. Remember, a setting is a place or an experience or a time. Nothing is better than a warm fire on a cold day, a soft PB&J sandwich, and a cold glass of milk to wash it down. When I read that, I can definitely relate to that sentence, and I really want to keep on reading more about what this person's going to tell me about a PB&J. And lastly, you can talk directly to the reader. And you know that you're talking directly to the reader when you use words like you. In this example, when you hear peanut butter and jelly, your mouth drools. I know mine does, and that's interesting for me. So the next step after I choose one is let's say I'm writing this essay. I'm just going to choose whichever one I feel like, whichever one I like. I might want to draft out several different types of examples and then pick the one that I like the best. Or I could just start by choosing the type of hook and go from there. I'm going to go with talking directly to the reader. I'm going to write it in the outline. So that's exactly really just what it means. I'm going to go over to these outlines, and here in this hook box, I'm going to type it out right here. All right. Then step 3, I'm just going to check that it meets the criteria for success. There's 3 really simple CFS. Number 1, it's 1 to 2 sentences, short and sweet. Number 2, it's on topic. Don't just throw out any random hook. We want to keep our reader interested but also on topic. And number 3, don't forget, interesting and engaging. It might help for you to read it to a friend, ask for feedback. By that meaning, hey friend, can you read this hook and tell me if it actually interests you, engages you, and makes you want to keep on reading more. And that's it, guys. Go ahead and get started on writing your hook.